Welcome to New Dad Order, episode 10. Ray and I get together and we talk about our health again. We talk about GLP-1s. We also talk about my lab reports and understanding numbers that we're supposed to understand. And then I find out that I really don't understand a lot of the numbers like blood pressure and other things of that nature. We also then, after, ironically enough, from talking about health, we get into some fat boy heaven where we talk about pizza and food and Ray's Korean roots and the things that his mother would cook for him and the meals that he looks forward to. And then it takes a bit of a turn and we get into a discussion about being a stepdad and resentment and reflection and what it's like to be a stepchild from my perspective. Ray's going through that as a stepfather himself and just the dynamics that it creates and the troubles and the trials and the happiness and everything that goes along with it. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notifications as well. And let's go.
Welcome to the New Dad Order podcast. My name is Ray. I got my boy over there, Parfait.
How's it going, everybody? How are you, Ray?
I'm good, man. I'm real good. Hey, there's a list of stuff on my iPad that I just dropped.
All right.
Yeah, that I wanted to shoot out there to you real quick.
List. I like lists.
Yeah.
All guys like lists. When sports get slow, lists are always the best option.
It was like, I think this was done in a different country, maybe, because I don't know what 36.8 to 37 on temperature is. It might be Celsius, right?
I would hope
Celsius.
so.
Yeah, so
I don't think we can. Sorry, so temperature. All right.
So
I don't know what kind of list we were going. So
yeah, let's go.
So
blood pressure.
My head went to sport, but we're going with trying to stay alive.
Yeah,
list.
things that we should know that for our bodies, and the right type of let's say blood pressure, 120/80. That is near perfect, not perfect, but where it should be. That's where it should be.
So this is one of those situations where, albeit I am very health conscious and clueless at the same time, I have no idea what my blood pressure is supposed to be. I don't know what the right numbers mean whenever they're like, oh, I have high blood pressure and they tell me what it is. Mm-hmm. I really don't know. I know I'm supposed to know, and I usually just kind of pretend to just say, okay. And then I call a timeout or I go to ChatGPT and ask what that really means.
I think if the first number is in the 200s and the second number is in the hundreds, high blood pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you.
I'm not 100%, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Another thing they have on here is hemoglobin. For males, it's 13 to 18, and for females, it's 11.5 to 16. Hemoglobin.
Do we know what hemoglobin is?
It has something to do with your blood.
Okay. All right. So we're talking about this. And how about this? All right. So lucky me, I have my lab results from my blood work. All right. So whenever you said I have a list, I thought we were going some sports stuff. And then you said, well, it's got some health stuff in it. So I found my lab reports and I got it ready. So hemoglobin, according to this, right?
Okay.
It says that the proper range would be from 13.2 to 17.1. I'm at 16.2.
Boom, right there in the middle.
So I'm right there in the middle for my hemoglobin.
Cholesterol, 130 to 200. Where you at?
Cholesterol. So cholesterol is one of those weird things. Cholesterol often gets a bad rap, and it's okay to have. Basically, like, don't start taking cholesterol medication just because the doctor says it.
Agreed.
Okay? Because that was one of the Gary Brecka things that he went through.
I love Brecka, by the way.
Hey, guys, this is a product right here that I want you to try. It's called Thirdzy. This is to help you with your recovery. We talk a lot about working out and trying to get in shape to do our best. Well, this right here has everything that you need. It's got magnesium. It's got collagen. No sugar, no melatonin. You won't feel groggy. We have a promo code that you guys can use. That'll be listed below. Go ahead and give it a shot. But yet we get on medication right away to start fighting it. Mm-hmm. But yet we shouldn't be fighting it always. I should have more information than what I'm saying. But that is one where it's very unique to the person that they have to understand their cholesterol level and what's causing the elevated cholesterol, because it's not always a negative thing.
I mean, do you feel any? I don't know. What is your cholesterol high? Like
No.
medically?
No.
I don't know I don't know if there's any kind of reactions from high cholesterol. I've never heard of anything. Because with the blood pressure, if it's high, you'll start feeling headaches in the back, in your neck area and the back of your head, not the side, not the front, always the back of your head.
When you have high blood pressure?
High blood pressure, yeah.
Do you battle high blood pressure?
I have it, and when I didn't have it under control, my weight and stuff under control, I would get those kind of headaches, and they would be right back here. I'm like, wow. So that's a I guess a unfortunate result from high blood pressure.
Okay. Yeah. So I knew that there was different types of cholesterol, right? So there's LDL, low density,
Yep.
which is called the bad cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the high levels of that are not good. And then there's HDL, right? Which is the high density lipoprotein. That's good cholesterol.
Right.
All right. And then triglycerides. And that's a type of fat in the blood cell. High levels, especially combined with LDL or a low HDL, raise heart disease.
I was coming to that number next. 220. What's yours?
What?
Like triglycerides.
I don't know.
220 should be the number.
220?
Yep.
I got to find it in the lab results.
Yeah. Sodium, 135 to 145.
Yeah, but sodium too. Salt's good for you.
Yep.
Salt's good for you. Salt gets a bad.
So it all depends. I think honestly, it all depends. I think that Brecca test,
So my sodium is 140.
You're in there. You're right there.
So
you're right where you need to be.
Yeah, like right in the middle.
Yep.
Right average. But that's another thing too with the average stuff, right? So as we kind of bounce around, the averages of what we have today are only based off of the population, meaning that those average numbers change because of the people around you. Whenever everybody starts to be overweight, then the average weight goes up because everybody weighs more, right? So it's not where we think you should be. You start to talk in average numbers. I had friends go through this whenever they started asking me about TRT therapy, right? And what my testosterone level was at, and if they should take it or not take it. And they went to the doctor and they got lab work done. The doctor was like, no, your testosterone level's at like 525. They were like, yeah, well, I would like it to be higher. Yeah, you're average. Like, yeah, but I'm average compared to what? Well, average compared to the 40-year-old men. They're like, yeah, but the average male 20 years ago, what was their average of testosterone? And that's the number that they'll give you. They're giving you the average of the data that's consistent of what they're seeing right now.
Right.
And that's why, like on this chart right here, like I have my lab results up. And whenever I went and get this lab work done at the end of 2024, my testosterone level was 1465. It's in the red in here. It's saying that it's too high.
Wow.
It's saying that I shouldn't be any higher than 1100.
Really?
Bruh. If your testosterone is 1465, you know what feels great? Every damn workout.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning and not being sore, energy level, raising a 9-year-old son who doesn't care that I'm getting old, like I've said numerous times.
Yeah, yeah.
And so getting that testosterone level being in the 5s, that might be average. I don't want to be average. We try to not be average with so many things we do in life. And that's one of those things where I don't want to be average. I want to be active. And the friends of mine that have decided to take that route after seeing my energy level, after seeing, things that I've done and having conversations with me, because I had those conversations with other guys where I was seeing what they were doing. I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? And they tell me like, hey man, I started doing TRT. It's been great for me. Okay. Why? Well, I asked those guys questions, and then I went and I found a doctor and started asking them questions, and it got me to a point where I was at. Well, then my group of friends from my different group of friends who weren't around those guys, they started asking me. And so then I started giving them the advice. So they went and checked it out for themselves. I can't say enough good things about it. I don't know why any guy the age of 40 is not taking testosterone. I don't understand why, especially if you're active. If you're not active, even if you're not active, it's going to give you more energy to hopefully get active.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you don't take it, right?
No.
No cure. You have any idea what your testosterone level is?
Is it part of the regular blood work, or is it something you have to get outside of that?
It should be. Like, when you go get lab work done, they should tell you what your testosterone level is at. Yeah.
I'll check it.
Yeah.
I have some blood work, but it's on the.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see where you're at on that one. You have to let me know. All right, what else they got as we talk about lab results and not all the things? Because, in fact, talking about Gary Brecka, he was on the Sean Ryan podcast, which we may have mentioned before, and there's a segment in there where he breaks down the lab results. I pulled out my lab results and went through it so I can actually hear someone explain every single thing on here. And if you're curious, knowing that we're not experts right here, pull up the Sean Ryan show, the episode with Gary Brecka. It's a long listen, but find the spot where he starts talking about the lab results because he had put Sean Ryan through a test of labs.
Well, he's got to have the time codes on there.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah. And then, and he goes through it and then pull out your lab results. And there's going to be some things on, on a normal one. There were things on mine or things that weren't on mine that he had tested. But it gives you a breakdown of actually what you're looking at instead of this chart right here that is just red as in bad and green as in okay. But these are average numbers based off of, I don't know. I don't want to be average. So, that like some of my numbers are in the red because they're elevated according to them. My creatine is high. I'm red. It says I should be like 0.60 to 1.29 and I'm at 1.48. But I supplement. I take creatine. Creatine does a lot of things for you. It's not just building muscle mass. It's brain function, recovery. Does a lot of things for you.
Yeah, I've started taking some of that. I got the wrong brand, though. I think I got the wrong brand. I don't know what the brand name is, but I didn't get that. I didn't get the one that you told me about. Oh. I will next time.
It's all right.
Yeah, I will next time.
Should still be doing the trick. All right, let's go through your list. What else we got here?
I think so. Sugar for children, 70 to 130. For adults, 70 to 115.
For your sugar? Mm-hmm. That's another one too. You have any diabetes or anything that runs through your family, or were you ever?
I think I have diabetes.
You should probably find that out. What do you
mean?
No.
I think I have diabetes. Yeah.
Well, how are you going to find out?
I have it.
Oh, okay. You do have it.
I do have it, but it's not the one where I have to check my blood and.
So you can't control the one that you have, or you can't.
I can control the one I have. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not the one where I have to check my blood all the time to make sure, or I'm sitting here going, I feel a little woozy.
Gotcha.
It's not. It's I guess type 2.
Okay.
You know what sucks is my doc did not exactly explain it to me, but when I went to go get my colonoscopy, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you have diabetes, and it's this one." He explained it to me. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
So what are you doing to control it?
I'm on some kind of medication. I take that medication until I go and see the doctor again.
Do you have to take medication?
What's that?
I said you have to take this.
Well,
I only ask, man. I know. I know. I take a list of supplements and all, but I'm so scared of.
But see, the thing is,
pharmaceuticals.
The thing is, you've trained yourself. You've become well studied when it comes to your body, and look,
but I'm still not sure of all what my cholesterol should be and all these numbers. But
we never are. But you're well studied, and medicine. Sometimes these doctors are giving you stuff just because I get a little bit more money because I'm giving you this medicine, right? There's that situation. So I have been the guy like, okay, I put myself in a situation. Let me get myself out of this situation. So, I take some medications.
Yeah.
I mean, like for high blood pressure and stuff.
No, like well, medications, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That's even we were having a conversation. I mean, there's okay, like taking medication, right? I guess I'm a skeptic. I haven't been to the doctor for illness in so long which is good. Like, I mean, I'm happy.
awesome.
I'm happy that I haven't been sick. I mean, I'll still take, Motrin when I get a headache, but normally I'm like, okay, why do I have a headache? Yep, I haven't drank enough water, so I'm probably dehydrated. So then I go get some salt tablets.
That's what it is, right? Salt and water.
Yeah,
with those headaches.
And so let me make sure that I'm
Mm-hmm.
hydrated. And if the headache doesn't go away, or if we're about to be out in the sun, then okay, I'll, like, you know what? Let's take some Motrin. But as far as getting prescription medication, it does make me really nervous. And then knowing that, if you're diabetic, you should be taking something to help you get away from that, especially if this medication is going to make you dependent on having to take this medication. Like, hey, look, you can take this and it'll get you in the right spot. Mm-hmm. And we were at the gym the other day and we were having a conversation about the GLP-1s, right? So GLP-1s, that's like Ozempic, right? So that's what Ozempic is, a GLP-1. And how he was a guest on a podcast. He has his own podcast, but he was talking about it, right? So he does body scans for people. He takes them on his clients. He's a dietitian. I don't know if he's actually a doctor or not, but he's definitely a dietitian, definitely a health expert. And his lab will put people on GLP-1s. He's one that he's not completely opposed to it, but using it as a tool for those people to help them get in the right direction. If you're 450 pounds, that shot's not going to be the thing that kills you. Like that's kind of his aspect of it. Like it's not the shot. Like people can blame it, but like that's not the reason that you're going to be ill. Like that person needs to do something to jumpstart themselves. The problem is that do you create a good habit to go with it? And that's what one of the CrossFit coaches at the gym was saying. He was like, the problem is that the people that do it don't create a habit out of it and then get off of it. Mm-hmm. It's like the guy who takes steroids, uses the steroids because he wants to get lean and build muscle, but then he gets into the cycle of constantly doing it and he's dependent on that thing to build his muscle, opposed to like, yeah, man, like Mike Golick, you remember Mike and Mike?
Yes.
In the morning on ESPN?
Yes.
Like Mike Golick talked about, he used steroids once whenever he was in the NFL. And he did. And he had shoulder surgery. And so he found out about it. He was like, this is going to help me recover. And he openly talked about it on the show back in the day whenever it was Mike and Mike in the morning. He talked about it numerous times. It doesn't hide from him. He's like, no. He's like, I took it because this was going to help me recover because I was not a guy that was an all-pro. And I needed something to help me get back to normal. So I didn't lose my job and I was out of the league. And so he took it. It helped him get to that point to where he could recover and go and rehab. And then he got off of it. Like that's his story. I believe him because I think if he would have continued using it, he probably would have just said, yeah, I used it. His career's over. It's not like he's in a Hall of Fame and they're going to, take his yellow jacket away from him or anything like that. So I think if he would have used throughout his career, he probably would have just said he used throughout his career. Mm-hmm. But he did say that he did use that one time. But no, I think that there are definitely tools that the doctor can give you in the form of medication to get you on the right track.
Yeah, like the stuff I'm on is Mounjaro.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's a GLP-1, right?
I didn't know that until you started talking about that. I was like, I think that's what I'm taking right now. Yeah.
So, which is the actual purpose of that is for
diabetics.
Diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to lose weight through a shot like Hollywood does.
Well, I figured I didn't know that's what it was. All I knew about it was Ozempic. The Ozempic,
right? Yeah.
And then as I was taking this stuff, I'm like, wait a minute. This is another form of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So what helps is that I'm working out too, and I'm on this.
Yeah, so, all right. So point in case, everything I just said, that no clue that's what you were taking. That's what this guy was saying. He was saying, he was like, this is something that we can give to a client that is active and they are trying to do things. This isn't coming in here because you don't do anything for your own health. This is someone who is like, hey, let's get you in the right direction. Let's create a good habit. Let's put you on he's a dietitian as well.
I've seen somebody that took it, and that wasn't part of their they didn't work out.
Yeah, and then that's what they were talking about. Like you get like Ozempic butt, Ozempic face, and like everything just starts to like sag.
But they lost weight. I mean, I was like,
but they weren't healthy.
What happened?
Right?
Yeah, it didn't look like a healthy weight loss, but they were skinny. They got skinny.
I mean, it's anorexia without anorexia. Right?
Is it though?
I mean, but why not?
Is it?
I mean, you're
anorexia.
you're starving yourself. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, you know.
Yeah, it was bonkers. But now that makes sense. Now that makes sense. I wasn't
which means that
really sure about what
because that stuff's
was.
supposed to curb your appetite, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
now you can actually like eat to fuel your body. Like
well,
you can force the protein in. Like that's what you're supposed to do. That's what this guy was saying whenever I was listening to the podcast that he was on. He was
there's
like,
times you can't eat.
well, no, but he's saying though, he's like, whenever you can't eat, this was whenever he was talking about it. God, I can't remember. It's killing me. I can't remember his name right now. But he was like using it as that tool. And obviously, I mean, I don't know, I imagine not every single person takes the same shot, but you know, the amount in each shot. And by regulating that and like forcing them into a certain diet, or forcing them, but putting them on a certain diet to consume this much or whatever, then they could take advantage of this to where they don't need this. Like you're creating a habit.
Yes.
So like, yes, like you don't feel like eating anything, but if you can get 200 grams of protein in a day, then you're going to probably be on the right track.
Oh yeah, 200 grams
Every day, myself.
I don't know if that's a lot or
No, you should.
it doesn't sound like a lot.
No, well, so I guess the rule of thumb typically is consume the number of grams of protein for the weight you want to be, not the weight that you are, for the weight you want to be. If you use that metric, then you're going to consume the right amount.
I thought it was like a formula.
There is a
by
formula.
your weight, you divide it by a certain number, and that's
There is, but if you kind of just stick to that right
sounds
there,
a lot easier.
Where if you're like, okay, I want to weigh, like I said, I walk around at around 190 right now, and
200.
so I consume like 200 grams of protein a day. Whenever back in August of 2024, whenever I was weighing 224, I started at that point right there of making sure that I was like, okay, like I want to get down to 200 pounds. I need to make sure I'm not going to worry about calories or anything like that.
Right.
I'm just going to cut out some sugars, and I'm going to make sure I focus on protein. I'm going to get 200 grams of protein in a day.
What do you burn a day, though?
I have no idea.
No?
I don't know. But that's such a number that's not real, right? Like caloric burn.
Well, I think I know you burn more than you take in, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'd never tried to operate at a calorie deficit because I don't want to lose. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to build muscle mass.
Yeah.
So if you start going at a calorie deficit, then you're going to start losing weight, which isn't a bad thing. Yes, I wanted to lose weight in the beginning, but I didn't care about. I never cared about the number on the scale. I wanted to make sure that okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to naturally drop pounds because I'm cutting out sugars. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm going to cut out sugars, then I'm going to lose weight just in general. Mm-hmm. But I want to make sure that I'm consuming all this protein and whatever the calories are, that's fine. As long as I'm continuing to work out, I'm not going to be in a bad spot. And I was working out.
Right.
And I continued to work out. And so I was never worried about that part of it.
Well, that's good. You know, in doing so, I think you're showing your kid, you know, good habits. Because I know we're showing, well, at least my youngest, you know, we're showing her some good habits. Like my wife is up early and going to the gym. And she goes to the gym most days. More recently, not as much because we've had our nieces with us.
Right.
But on a normal basis, she's a 4:30, 5 o'clock. By 5:30, she's at the gym, and she goes there for 30 minutes to an hour. Back at home, and you know, in that cycle, and the daughter gets up and she sees that.
Yeah.
So she's an athlete, and she's a basketball, track athlete, and I think emulating what I'm doing now and what she's been doing has really benefited her as well. So I guess, you know, the things that you're doing, I'm pretty sure is rubbing off on him. I mean, maybe not.
No, I mean, there's workout equipment in here. You know, we're in the sweatshirt. This is the family gym
we were
right
just
here.
talking about that.
And he's got some, one of my best friends ordered some equipment as the water logs and the water ball. It's just water weighted things that a kid can use to create stability and agility and core strength. Mm-hmm. You know, not necessarily weightlifting, but he's got his own little barbell. He's got a little kettlebell that he swings. You know, does that. No, creating a habit and creating an eating habit as well. When I get home from the gym every day, we're 6 eggs in every day. You know, I'm cooking him breakfast and I'm cooking myself breakfast. And I'm like, we're going to eat protein every single morning. And so it's protein and fruit every morning, he and I, no matter what. Hey, what'd you do at the gym today?
Yeah.
And that was something that I made a conscious effort back in August of 2024. Whenever I was going to get serious about myself, I'm like, well, I'm going to just set an example. I'm like, hey, look, no questions asked. Before you go to school, you're eating 2 eggs. 2 eggs and fruit before you go to school.
Boom.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even care. Like now, whenever he's like, I'm hungry, I'm like, I don't have anything to eat. He's like, you cook me an egg? I'm like, perfect answer.
What, sunny side up or what, scrambled?
Scrambled's the easiest way to do it. So.
Yeah. I mean, how do you like your eggs, though?
I like them.
If you had time.
Oh, me? Over medium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why? What are you?
Scrambles.
Only scrambled?
Only scrambled.
You don't like an medium egg on a burger?
My wife likes...
You like an egg on a burger?
I've never had it.
Never had an egg on a burger?
I've seen them, like at your mom's, and more burger places now have that.
I think they changed the name to Our Moms.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is Our Mom.
It is. It used to be Your Mom.
It used to be
local burger joint. Used to be Your Mom's. Now it's Our Mom's.
Yep. I tried that peanut butter and jelly burger. I tried a few of the burgers, but there's more burger places.
I like the egg. Yeah,
that have the egg on
they
the
do
burger.
like a lot of places will call it the hangover burger.
That's
have
what
like
it is,
bacon and egg and cheese on it.
Yep.
And I like an egg on a burger. What about talk about weird food? I'm going to judge you on this one right here, based on what your answer is.
Oh, don't tell me about that. Go ahead.
You eat pineapple on your pizza?
I don't mind it. You don't like it, huh? I don't mind it.
It's not American.
I don't mind. It is American. No, that is American.
You said that Hawaii wasn't part of America, and they have pineapple.
They're not on the. They're not connected to America, but they are part of America.
Pineapple on a pizza.
I think I like it. I like it, even though that's not. If you ask anybody from the East Coast, anybody from the Northeast, they will. They might shoot you.
So who likes it?
What's that?
So I mean, where
Californians. Right,
it's your favorite,
your
favorite state. I just wanted you to say it because I knew that's where you were going. So Ray,
I don't know woke. I don't know if you're woke and you like. I don't know.
I think it is, man. That's what it is. We established that you are woke because you like pineapple on your pizza.
It's. I guess it's that. I like pineapple, and when
I love pineapple.
And when you put it on pizza, it's just that extra little flavor with
salty
and then we
and
get the meat lover. Yeah, the salty and sweet thing. And,
I get it.
And me and my wife we only get it with like a meat lovers. It can't be just like a pineapple and
ham.
And ham or pineapple and pepperoni. It's got to be a meat lovers with the pineapple. So you have the different.
I guess I could probably try that one because it's not covered in pineapple. It's probably just little pieces of it.
Right.
It's not just like a pineapple pizza.
It's not like no. It's piece like this piece like that's good.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it.
But nothing beats a good slice, like a New York style kind of pizza, a slice of pizza as big as or bigger than your hand from up north. When you go into a pizza shop, Manello's up in Pittsburgh, over there on when you're down there in Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You go up Squirrel Hill, they have Manello's and Manello's. Yes, 2 pizza shops. I think they're still there, and you guys can tell me if they're still there or not. They're right on the same side of the street. When you go up Squirrel Hill, as you come off the interstate and you make that left turn, you go up Squirrel Hill. It's a Jewish area, obviously, right?
Okay.
Squirrel Hill. And Manello's, I think Manello's is first, and Manello's is maybe 3 or 4 doors down. Pizza spots owned by 2 different people.
And right next door to each other.
Almost.
Yeah.
Practically next door to each other. And I would eat here or and then 30 minutes later go down here because they were both fantastic.
I love pizza. That's the one thing that I absolutely...
White pizza. I don't know if you've ever seen white pizza.
I don't know what you mean by white pizza.
Exactly. It's white pizza. White slices of pizza. Yep. Yes, sir.
But what do you mean, white slices of pizza?
It's like I don't know exactly what, but I think
they use
cheese.
like Alfredo sauce or still pizza sauce, red sauce.
I'd have to look it up again because I'd never got the white pizza, but a lot of the people that I went with would get slice of white pizza. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, definitely different.
It's different.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's different. But those big New York style pizza slices, I know you've seen. We've talked about them before.
When Portnoy does the pizza reviews.
He takes out those slices. When you buy a slice from a pizza shop, that's just heaven.
It's been years since I've been to New York, but that was one where street pizza is a big deal in New York. Yeah.
Oh, not just New York.
Not just, no, but in
Philly,
those areas,
Jersey.
So,
yeah.
So, no, I like good pizza. I always like good pizza. We do good pizza here at the house.
Do you?
Carolyn got me a pizza oven for Father's Day. Maybe it might be almost 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so whenever we do pizza night's the real deal. I'm talking, I've brought the pizza oven over to a friend's house, and we've cooked 30 pizzas in one night.
30.
Now we're doing like 8-inch balls of dough.
Okay.
And so we're just doing a collection of different styles of pizza.
Okay.
We do boudin pizza, which is probably the favorite, and we do a pepper jelly.
You ever been to
sauce?
Nola Mia?
Yeah. We rip off some of their stuff and make it taste better.
Okay.
I say make it taste better, meaning like we'll eliminate some of the ingredients that I don't necessarily like on the pizza, and then just add something else, or something that we can't recreate, and so we just say it tastes better because I'm not a chef, and so I can't make the sauce that they put on there, and so I'm like, mine just tastes better. It doesn't taste better. It's just as good as I can make it taste based on the things that I know how to do.
You ever have Tommy's?
Yeah, Tommy's legit.
My buddy also, he's been like, any Friday, Ray, let me get the pizzas in the oven.
Oh, they do pizza night?
Yeah, but he has it. He's got an oven out. I don't know where it is, but but that's the guy that made real Italian food. He's an Italian guy.
Okay.
Made Italian food for us, brought us over. We had like 8 different dishes.
Oh, no. I mean, the food is great. Yeah, no, Italian food by real Italians is always a plus.
Yeah.
But pizza night, I'll stand by our pizza night.
Yeah.
We'll get you over here for that one night whenever we do it. We've got a menu that we have, just like I said, the boudin pizza, we do a cheesesteak pizza, we do buffalo chicken pizza, we've done dessert pizzas too, s'mores pizza, cook the dough, pull it back out, put some chocolate on it, throw some marshmallows, toast, pop it back in, let the marshmallows toast. Pretty solid stuff. Throw some graham crackers. We've done probably, between the boudin pizza and the other goated pizza that we do is the Raising Cane's pizza.
Raising Cane's?
Raising Cane's pizza, right?
Chicken fingers or chicken?
We go pick up a box of Raising Cane's. Mm-hmm. We put the cane sauce and the chicken.
The dipping sauce.
Yes.
Ooh.
The cane sauce with the chicken and the cheese and the French fries. Pop it in the oven, cook that. And the pizza only takes me a minute and a half to cook a pizza. Mm-hmm. That's it. So that's why we can cook 30 in a night, because it's taking a whole minute and a half to cook a pizza.
Is it like that place over there?
I don't know. But
what's that place called?
Then you take it out, and then you take the bread, the Cane's toast, sprinkle that on top, pop it back in, let the bread toast a little bit, and then you sprinkle more sauce on the top. It's good.
Bro,
this is fat boy heaven right here, dude.
That sounds
it's
wonderful.
So good. You probably don't want to check your cholesterol after you hang out for pizza night, but it doesn't matter. It's so good. Pizza night's so good. It's been so long since we've had one because we play baseball every freaking weekend.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't even know what we were talking about before this. I think it had something to do with good eating habits for our kids.
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah. So we eat eggs and a lot of protein, and then we get fat on Fridays every now and then just to keep the balance. That's it. That's why we work out on Saturday morning.
I mean, we do, not every Friday, but I think I've talked about this before.
Yeah, we do Trash In
Friday.
Yeah.
Where we'll Chinese food. It's usually when it's that trashy, it's Chinese food. And
that makes you want to go into a coma the next day, though.
Well, yeah, but I can't
eat
too much of that. You could just feel the
what about
sodium?
Korean roots. You cook any real Korean food?
I don't, but my wife has learned how to from my mother.
Oh, that's special.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like my mother will always send us. There's some special dishes that we like: bulgogi and garbi.
God bless you.
Yep. So bulgogi is like shredded beef.
Okay.
It's shredded beef, and the garbi is like short ribs, like little short ribs.
I've had that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the kimchi. I know you're pretty sure you've heard of kimchi. So she'll send me that, and the one I really like of the kimchi is like a gakdugi, which is like turnips, cut up turnips, dipped in the different kind of hot sauces that she has. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to take her marinade or her hot sauce and would bury it, like ready to go dig a hole, and bury it and let it sit in there for about 30 days and bring it out. Yeah.
Really?
I didn't eat it. I mean, it wasn't like all dirty, but it was bagged up. It was in a cooler, but boom, underground.
You just leave that out there for a few weeks?
About 30 days. Yep.
What was the reason behind that?
I guess to make it gets hotter. I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, obviously there's some type of
there's something that she brought back from the motherland.
Eastern philosophy behind the.
Oh yeah, there's something she brought back from the motherland. I mean, we used to go with my mother up into the woods in New Mexico.
Okay.
We used to go to this place called Eagle Creek, out there close to Ruidoso, New Mexico. Eagle Creek was two creeks, and she would go up into the hills and pick this thing called kosadi. It was a vegetable, and before it blossomed. Before it blossomed is when you want to get it. So it looks sort of like Brussels sprouts, but like a little floury. And she would take all that and she would boil it and then throw it on the grill. And then we would have to spread it on
the grill.
No. We'd have to spread it on. She'd lay out all kinds of tarps and everything all over the driveway.
And let it dry out.
And we let it dry out. And when it dried out, it shriveled up.
Okay.
And then that's when she would create her different dishes from that.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty unique.
Oh, yeah.
That was your childhood? Like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every summer we do that.
When did she stop cooking? How long before she stopped cooking?
She hasn't stopped cooking.
Oh, so she
still does. Like when I come home, like when we drive home, like when we drive out there, we drive home. I also I love to have kimbap. Kimbap is like it's a roll. It's like a seaweed base.
Okay.
Rice with this fake imitation crab and this other it's like a sweet stick or something. This yellow sweet stick would go in there and a vegetable. And she'd roll it up and chop it up, and you just, I need a big old container of this.
What's the one meal that you know, hey, Mom, I'm coming visit? What's the one meal that you're getting every single time?
The bulgogi with kimchi.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah. That's 100%. It's going down.
Did your wife learn how to make that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She makes it, and we'll have that every now and then at the house when she has time.
Yeah. Because
really
obviously it's a process.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a process. So I'd get that or the garbi. I always love the yakimandu, but my mom says it's a process to do now, because that's the like the little egg rolls that you see. Mm-hmm. But it's an awesome process. So it's a combination of different meats and some little noodles and a little bit of vegetable, and they put it into this little triangle, and they would take egg around it and then you fry them.
Gotcha.
Right?
I mean, I'm sold. Like, I am starving right now.
Delicious. But
I had baked chicken and broccoli before you got here tonight. That was really
still
boring.
Good. It is boring, but it's still good.
It is not. I'm starving thinking about Cane's Pizza and Korean beef tips right now with egg rolls on the side.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
You did it to yourself.
God, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty darn good.
Yeah, to say the least.
There was one thing to talk to you about, and because I hope you never have to go through this. Okay, hope you never have to go through.
Those
this.
are words when someone says it. That usually means they really don't want you to have to go through this. So.
I hope you never have to go through this, because you're happily married with a kid, but stepdads.
Oh, okay.
Right, being a stepdad, So I was a stepdad coming into my relationship. Now, when I came into the relationship, all right, she had 3 already, so I had a maid family. The first one I met was my oldest daughter now, when she was 3 years old. She was sitting in the back seat of my wife's Ford Escort.
So you have been along, there's no memory of you not being around.
That's the hope, right? That's the hope. So she came out that back seat, with just full of joy, just full of joy. So I'll always remember that. But the thing is, with stepdads, and I talked about this on the last episode.
Hold up. Your oldest was 3 at the time?
When I met her, yeah. My oldest daughter. I call her my daughter now because I adopted her when she turned 11 or 12.
Okay.
11 or 12. And I could have, with her and my second oldest son. Now, my oldest isn't mine.
Right.
I'm still his stepfather, but he still calls me dad. He has his real dad in his life. The other 2, he's somewhere. Not exactly, don't know where he is now, but he's somewhere.
Okay.
But he was always around for a little while, but he wasn't great. He was deadbeat. He's I guess more into the drugs versus into them. And when he did get off them and he tried to get cleaned up, he tried to reach out. Like, man, if you stay on this path, no problem having a relationship with him. And that's one of the things stepdads are going to have to work through when they get into those kind of situations. The other thing too is, I talked about in episode 7, being there for your daughters. Mm-hmm. Dads, stepdads, you got to do more. So if you're a guy who enjoys hobbies or playing video games or whatever, you're going to have to cut some of that back, cut more of that back, especially if their real dad isn't involved. Now, if real dad's involved, work through it a little bit.
I mean,
but if their real dad is not involved, you got to pull back on some of the stuff.
Well,
you got to pull back on some of the stuff and be more involved.
I got to be selfish with my wife, right? Meaning that we got to get married and live our life together, and then we had a kid together. We became parents together. So when I say I got to be selfish with her, like, we got to be just her and I, and that's what you're saying. That dynamic of, you didn't get that. You didn't get the time to release doing your hobbies, and it was all of a sudden I'm in this relationship. I'm in love with this woman. She's got kids. I'm a dad now. You don't get just her and you, is what I'm saying. It was never just you and her.
That is true. That is true. And I understood it. And that's, some of our fights stem from that, because I was still in that mindset of, no, this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I do. And I eventually worked out of that mindset. But I don't think I worked out of it as well as I could have. And that's why I'm saying now, if you are in that kind of relationship, you're going to have to pull back on your wants and put a lot into the daughters.
I think it's unique. I think it's just unique in every situation.
Well, the thing is,
I think yours might have just been
because
guys,
my wife,
guys tend to compartmentalize more just in general.
Well, we always do that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about the kids that are younger than my oldest. I think if you're 28-ish or more, you can compartmentalize. You could do that better than most. Okay, yeah. But if you're younger than that, it's different. I mean, it's different. I think, right? I think it's different. But when it comes to dealing with, a young lady who doesn't understand why their real dad, isn't in their life, and you're not in there maybe a little more often than you need to be, it'll show down the road. And it showed for me. Okay. All right? It showed for me. So my daughter went on a podcast.
All right.
Okay? And she put it all out there that she knew me as her father at 2 years old. She got the number wrong. It's 3 years old. Mm. And but her childhood was a blur, and that when she hit high school, she felt like she couldn't be loved, like no one's going to love her. Beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
Okay. She felt like she wasn't going to be loved. She fell for this kid in her junior year of high school, and he eventually cheated on her, did all kinds of things, and she stayed because she felt like she had daddy issues. So for me to hear something like that, it was not easy.
No, I could see that being a gut punch to say the least.
Gut punch.
You know,
It was.
I mean, just it's completely it's not even in the scope of things that you would have thought would be said. I'd imagine.
No. It would be one thing if, so, and, you know, she's also now a Christian, but we were always raised in a Christian household. You know, based my rules, you know, all those good things, and it was more than a gut punch.
No,
I'm still working through it.
Yeah, I think it's one where obviously I have no real merit to speak on as far as a personal experience goes from that standpoint. Now, I was a stepson. You know, my dad never actually remarried, but the person he's with, they have been together for 20 plus years now, right? And so, I mean, I'm not going to introduce her as, I mean, they've been engaged forever. I'm not going to introduce her as my dad's fiance. I mean, it's my stepmom.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love her, and from that aspect, she loves me. The grandkids call her Nana, you know, so I mean, that there's that relationship. I was definitely a spoiled jerk, resentment, a lot of things whenever she first came around. But I was at a different age. I wasn't 3. So that's what makes it very unique, where I try to put myself in a place of, did I resent her? I don't necessarily know if I resented her. Did I do things to help our relationship? I'm like, I don't know, but it's so unique to what you're saying, where you raised her as though she was yours from the very beginning. And then for her to say she didn't feel like she was loved or had daddy issues, you're like, well, he's the guy you call dad. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a man.
Exactly. So
yeah, I don't know why she would come through.
I've talked through it with my wife. She also had dad issues. Okay, and she went through some stuff as well because of it. Now she had a grandfather who was sort of like me a little bit, not as much, but it was there. She's like, I don't know how to explain this to you, but it wasn't you, right? But in my head, I thought I did enough, because when I talk about, you know, be there for your kids. Make sure they know that you love them. Make sure they know that they're going to be loved, not just by you, but by others.
Yeah, Ray, you're a really good guy, right? You're a genuine guy. Well, I'm telling you are, because if I didn't, then you and I wouldn't have invested, you know, our time spending with each other to do this right now, right? I have to have you in a high opinion. I think, and I told you this before, I think you're a people pleaser. And I think that that's the type of person that has to be a stepdad, an effective stepdad, a loving stepdad, has to be someone who is a people pleaser first, as well as a protector. And I think you fit that role very well in life for multiple people, not just your family. From a friend aspect, I think that you are a people pleaser and a protector from that. You're not guarded in a defensive way, but you're looking out for others. Right? I genuinely think that that's the personality that you walk around with. Pleaser and protector. And I think that that's a vital role for anyone that's going to step into the role of a step parent. Right? So her issues start to be, what happened with, why did I get stuck with this situation? And typically what happens, I think, is what I went through at a certain time once I started to mature, go through puberty, emotions start to get the best of me, become a young adult, become an adult, and you start to find moments of resentment that you don't know why you're resenting them. And I went, why did I have to grow up without a mom? Why did my best friend or whatever, that person that I'm not even friends with, well, look how great everything turned out from them. Why did their parents are separated and they still have a great life, you know? And I think that kids start to compare their situation to other situations and then start to manifest these thoughts of what their reality could have been, what it actually is, and then you get lost. And if she's taking this time to self-reflect on those things, regardless of her age, I think it's only a matter of time for maturity to take over and her to truly understand what you did for her. And it may not be next year or two. It may be when she has kids and when she has a family, to truly understand the relationship or the environment that you were trying to create. I can't say your feelings shouldn't be hurt because you were thinking that, what didn't I do to make her feel like her life was great? Well, what you didn't do was she can't understand why that guy had to be such a loser and leave. You know, if that's the way that she sees her dad. Like, why did he have to do that? Why couldn't he give me the life that I could have had and him been here? And there's no real answer for that, but I think that that's part of just finding yourself as a person, of just asking yourself questions that you know you can't find the answer to come to a thought in your head that makes the most sense. That thought may come years from now.
I think you're hitting it around the nail, because I think you have an idea, just because of losing mom at a younger age. I think you have a pretty good. I think your empathy towards that situation, even though you're male, it helped me realize a little something in my sorrow,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look, even though she went through all this, I mean, she's truly in love with God, truly in love with Jesus. So she was able to find that through some other people.
That's
right.
That's awesome.
I wish it was through us, but she was able to find that through other people, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for that. I don't like what she had to go through.
And the upside is that it's said, it's there. You didn't think that you had a bad relationship. She didn't say that you do that you do have a bad relationship from what I'm gathering.
No.
So she doesn't think there's anything wrong with the relationship that you guys had, for you coming in and assuming the role of father and raising her as your own and loving her as, you know, that's your kid, you know? And I don't, but you can at least now you can take advantage of the fact that, all right, these things were said. Your relationship, you could take it personal and resent, or you could take it personal and say, well, let's just make sure that whenever I have grandkids, that they understand how much I love them, that they are mine in every sense of the word.
Right.
You know, and that anything that I did to create any kind of doubt, I want to remove any of that doubt going forward as I get older, as I'll become a grandfather to your kids, that whatever it is, I need to make sure that they feel all the love that you may not have felt, because I want to. And I think that that's part of it, where you will have a chance as time goes to show her that, yeah, that love. And that's what I'm saying. It may take years from now, and it may take the grandkids aspect of it for her to come full circle and realize that, oh, okay, that's what, that love that I thought I wasn't getting, I was getting. And I can see it now, because I can see the love that you're giving to the grandkids, you know, and it sucks that it'll take a long time for that, but I think it'll be so worth it for her as an adult and as she matures, and it'll be good for you. I think those are those moments that it's okay to be selfishly happy, and I think you will get there.
I think this is why we're doing this podcast thing, right? At least put some of this stuff out there. I've been going back and forth on this.
Yeah.
Especially after I heard it. I've been going back and forth on this. I know I didn't talk to you about this on purpose, because I didn't want to. because you didn't know I was going to come in here and
No,
talk
I had.
about
This
this
is
at
not.
all.
We were talking about pineapple and pizza and
Yeah.
just living fat boy dreams and the pizza joint. And yeah, this is not. Yeah, it's
Because I know
but
it's pretty
real life.
sensitive. Because I always want to protect her. But the other part that was real tough is when she said the reason why I stayed with him is because I didn't think anybody else would love me.
No, but that's also the product of someone that is a master manipulator. Meaning that she was put in a situation where she was manipulated to believe that.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good chance that those emotions that she had, those thoughts were created by him provoking emotions. Man, there's people who are in toxic relationships, whether it be just verbally toxic or physically toxic, those exist. And it's a bad thing. And people, why do you stay? Why do you stay? That's a question that people have asked forever whenever people are in a bad relationship. Why do you stay? Why do you stay? Because it's very easy to stay, to lie to yourself and go to sleep one more night and then wake up and then pretend it's going to be better and it's going to get better. And then you get into a rut.
Or it's not just.
And I think that
I don't think it's always just the ease. It's also the mentality.
Yeah,
that
the fear. But you just manipulate it.
Well, you're manipulated into it, but also the fear that this is the best I'm going to get. Right? This is the best I'm going to get. And I'm not going to get anything else. And that right there that's the thing that I've been working on getting by. Yeah, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle. It's
Those
just
are
tough,
just
man.
Thoughts that just live in each person's head, and you can hear reassurance. You can hear, or you can say what you think is all the right things to tell that person, and you can't control the way their thoughts are, the way they feel, and yeah, we know that. Like we've heard that stuff before where you can't, and then you're hit with it, and you realize that this is one of those situations where it's like, yeah, you've said that stuff where you can't control what people think, can't control the way someone feels. You've said those words, now you're living those words of true or experiencing that aspect that you truly cannot control or understand. And but that's we went all over the place with everything. But if we're gonna come up with a dad rule, for those guys that are a stepdad situation, literally all you can do is your best. That's it. No deep down. That's all it is. Just do your best.
Do your best.
For all the stepdads out there that have to go through that. But being a stepdad, that cut into some of your comic books.
It did.
The toy collecting.
Shut that down.
Shut that down.
Shut that down for a while.
Shut down the toy collecting.
For a little while, yeah.
Well, you had to buy toys because now you had toddlers all of a sudden.
Well, that.
And they didn't like the cool toys.
And I came into a situation with 3, so
Yeah.
it was, that got shut down.
You steal their toys?
I tried to get them
try to steer them into the direction of your toys.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Yeah. My second oldest was like, play.
And that was it.
Yeah.
No.
It didn't work out.
So that sucks.
You know what I did like, though? You ever seen the movie Strange Brew?
What?
Strange Brew.
No, never seen that. No.
You ever saw that movie?
No. It looks like
Canadians. The Canadians, they're always like, "You hoser, eh?" And it was around hockey and the beer. And
I've never seen that one.
bro, when you get a chance,
okay,
it's in the genre of Spaceballs and stuff.
Is that like an 80s, 90s?
Yeah, it's an 80s movie. So the thing was, I was looking for like some T-shirts and stuff, and I saw that. And I'm like, oh. So I started writing down.
You're trying to find you some more graphic T-shirts?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And I'm not getting that one, though. But I started writing down. I'm like, you know what? Let me start writing down my favorite movies. I started writing down my favorite movies.
Has your wife seen that one?
No.
I didn't think so. That looks...
I saw it on HBO, and when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, it was a great movie. Every time I see it, it's one of those movies. When I see it, it's not on nowadays, but when I see it, I'll sit there and watch it.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
All right. So, random Ray movie bring up. Was there any reason that you brought that up just now?
I just no, there is.
So, well, yeah. Well, Ray, you know what? Whenever, got a little heavy this evening, but maybe, on a little lighter note, maybe whenever you do have grandkids, we could, you can talk them into the toys that you like to play with, and that might make being an old man a little more fun. But
that's the hope.
That's the hope.
That's the hope.
So, but no. So dad rule. You know what? So if you are a stepdad, learn to know that you're gonna have to do your best, and you're also gonna have to cut back on some of those hobbies that you might have had whenever you first got together, knowing that you're coming into a family situation. So eliminating some of those hobbies, direct them towards the kids. Maybe whenever you have grandkids, you'll get them into the toys that you like. But nonetheless, we do appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we hope to see you again. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop us a comment below, the notifications tab. That way you know whenever something new drops from our podcast over here. So I'm Parfait. This is Ray. So thank you for joining us again on another episode of
New Dad Order.